Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. All right, everybody, please be seated. Good morning. I am Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. I just need to grow a longer beard. Our school has often been compared to the fictional Hogwarts of the Harry Potter novels, and you can easily see why. This year, we actually formalized the relationship by launching an international exchange program between Hogwarts and UNCSA, and we announced it on April 1st, befittingly, aka April Fool's Day. That got a lot of web traffic, I have to say. I am not jesting when I say that we have no shortage of wizards on our campus, and their magic keeps us spellbound. Even something as simple and basic as a graduation robe takes on color and vitality in their imaginative hands. The robes I wear today were created by members of the School of Design and Production students, faculty, and alumni, led by our co-director of the costume program, Bill Brewer. No black polyester for this group. The coppery brown is the official degree color for fine and dramatic arts. The green is a subtle nod to our mascot, the pickle. The medallions on the sash, which you can see here, represent each of the arts disciplines on our campus. And because our friends at D&P are detail-oriented perfectionists, they even embroidered the inside of the cap, which I hope you can see, with a little gherkin. Isn't that wonderful? Fabulous. This is fabulous. It is regalia that is as beautiful as it is symbolic, and it epitomizes the creativity and industriousness that defines UNCSA. I am so proud to wear them, and prouder still to be a part of this incredible institution, which graduated its first class, fondly known as the Golden Pickles, 52 years ago in the spring of 1966. Today, we celebrate the Fighting Pickles on this stage, the undergraduate and graduate class of 2019. To begin, it is my pleasure to introduce C. Philip BYERS, representing the Board of Governors for the 17 constituent campuses of the University of North Carolina. Phil has been a member of the Board of Governors since 2015, is a former Board of Trustee member at Western Carolina University, and a graduate of Appalachian State and a good friend. Please join me in welcoming him.
Okay, so always off script, the chancellor will be offended, but I have to do it. So if this is Hogwarts, I guess I end up getting to be that big bearded guy. Always something. I was watching him, his robe is, count jealous is a horrible thing, but jealousy, when he was robing, he's got a vest under it for cooling purposes because it's very heavy and very big. And my background was military and law enforcement, so it appeared to me he was putting on a bulletproof vest. And I was beginning to wonder if I might be at the wrong place today. But one other quick thing, and then I'll get to seriousness. I do this all the time because why not laugh? You guys have done the work, so we can at least have a fun time. I was on your campus at a meeting last year and happened after the meeting to just be hanging around and walked outside, and a group of students were playing volleyball, sand, with the sand. And I had on a three-piece suit, and you're old enough to remember, you may not remember, when Richard Nixon took a walk at Santa Monica with Barbara Walters, and he was walking on the beach giving an interview wearing a three-piece suit and wingtip shoes. That's what I felt like playing volleyball with this group, but they were so kind to me and invited me to play volleyball, and I did. And pictures got on the internet some way, and all my friends started calling saying, "Remember Richard Nixon?" So I have shorts and T-shirts, but at that time I was just in a three-piece suit. On a serious note, before I start my remarks, and Chancellor will be timing me, I want to ask you all to continue remembering our friends at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte who have had a tremendous week, tremendously bad week. And we're here to celebrate you today, and that's what we're about. But I do ask in coming weeks you continue to remember our colleagues at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Thank you and good morning. On behalf of the University of North Carolina Board of Governors and the UNC Interim President, William Roper, it is my pleasure to bring greetings to today's graduates and their families, to the distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, and Board of Trustees of this institution, and to our Chancellor and esteemed members of the Platform Party. Graduates, congratulations. This day belongs to you. To the years of hard work and creativity that have brought you to this moment, we are honored to celebrate your achievements and to stand in eager anticipation of all the future accomplishments that will come. We all expect to see your names attached to brilliant projects, fascinating works of art, and innovative ventures in our growing creative economy. And when those moments come, I hope you'll remember this extraordinary education you received at this one-of-a-kind institution. The University of North Carolina School of the Arts is a treasure for this state because it brings you all together, concentrating your incredible talent and energy in a way few schools anywhere in the world can match. Whatever your futures may hold, know that you'll always have a home at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts and an enthusiastic audience for your work. Please stay connected and involved and stay true to the spirit of this wonderful place. The day belongs to you, graduates, but you wouldn't be here without extraordinary commitment of the faculty and staff here at UNC School of the Arts. They are the heart and soul of this institution, the people who encouraged your talent and ambition, giving you the shape of your dreams. They are the remarkable teachers in every part of this fine school, and we recognize their contributions through the Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. Before we do that, as we're recognizing one today, I would ask you to join me in thanking and the faculty and staff of this school for the great work that they have done for you and for this state. I thank you from the heart. Before the presentation, I will share with you that three things in life always have made me happy, and the first being football. The second, the arts. Believe it or not, I'm off Broadway 5, 6, 7, 8 times a year because that's my love. Musicals, but any art, believe it or not, old country boy from the backwoods loves and appreciates that. And the third was my ex-wife, so I guess now it's just down to actually two, being the arts and football. Back to work. Established in 1994 to emphasize the critical importance of teaching and reward the great teachers and mentors across the university, and awards are given annually to tenured faculty members from each of North Carolina's public universities. Recipients are nominated from a special committee on their home campuses and selected after careful review by the Board of Governors Committee on Personnel and Tenure. It is my great privilege to recognize this year's recipient, Mr. Eric Rimes. Chancellor, will you and Eric please join me? Acknowledged as an expert in his field, Mr. Rhymes joined the University of North Carolina School of the Arts School of Design and Production in 2003 and was among the first promoted to the rank of full professor when the ranking system was adopted by the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. Eric's a master teacher with breadth and depth of industry and expertise and greatly enhances the learning outcomes of his students. Our chancellor says, "I'm deeply grateful for the long-term impact on our institution and offer my heartfelt congratulations." Rhymes was nominated for the award by current and former students, including one who noted Rhymes' impressive professional career, which he maintains while teaching. This allows him to provide his students with extremely relevant situations and training opportunities, in addition to connections and networking that would not otherwise be possible. Rhymes earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theatrical Design from Florida State, won't hold that against you, but from Florida State University, with additional master's level study in Technical Design and Production from Yale. It's getting worse. Yale University School of Drama. Football went downhill in a hurry. Currently, Rhymes works as advanced electrician for the national tours of Wicked, 12 times, been seen 12 times, Phantom of the Opera. His professional experience includes working in lighting technology for the national tours of Beauty and the Beast, Martin Gad, and Aida. I worked on this one. I said it wrong, I know. We worked on that. Anyway, country boy has a hard time with dialect. He also has been production electrician for national tours of The King and I, The Sound of Music, and Dirty Dancing. I grew up at Lake Lure, so the Dirty Dancing part is very important to me. And for regional companies such as Carolina Ballet, North Carolina Theater, Piedmont Opera, and Greensboro Opera. Other touring productions include Ragtime, Spirit, and Jekyll and Hyde. Michael Kelly, an alumnus of this institution and the dean of the School of Design and Production, said, "Rhymes' mentorship produces entertainment electricians who are ready to work at a high level. They are very employable. They know the technology and they know how to solve problems. They know how to plan for problems, how to organize and communicate." Kelly said, he makes good humans that are amazing artists. They leave our program ready to lead. For these and many other reasons, I am glad to honor Mr. Eric Rhymes with this year's award. In honoring him, we also share our warm appreciation for the more than 14,000 dedicated faculty members who teach in the University of North Carolina system of schools. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, UNC Governor BYERS. Congratulations, graduates. Disqualifier, I'm used to being on the other side of the lights, so I apologize for being a little awkward. After I was told about winning this award, I was asked to write a biographical sketch and provide descriptions of what I do. So it occurred to me that many of you here may not have any idea what a lighting technician is or what it is that we do. So simply put, lighting technicians on a production do this. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Jennifer, for programming that. I would like to say thank you to all the people who wrote in nominations for this award. Thank you. Thank you. I was given the opportunity to read what some of you wrote about your experiences with me at UNCSA, and it was truly humbling and heartwarming. In fact, it's those comments that inspire me to share one thing. I feel has been extremely important to me in my career. It's a last bit of advice, and it won't take long. Be the kind of person that others want to work with. Confidence is good, arrogance is not. Honesty is good, cruelty is not. Loyalty is good, exclusion is not. As I shared with you, when I am appreciated, it truly inspires me to work harder. Kindness and praise inspires loyalty. Many of you already know that you will have many employers in your career, and that your reputation is one of the most important things that you can invest in. I have collaborated and worked with some amazing people, and I did my best to make each and every one of those experiences as pleasant, amicable, and enjoyable as possible, so that they would want to work with me again. I want my colleagues to remember me as someone they want to seek out and work with again and again, just as I remember the people I enjoyed working with in the past and seek them out. Your colleagues, those you have worked with, those you have gone to school with, they will have opportunities to suggest you for a future project or a future job. I believe I have fully invested in my reputation. Doing so has helped me make a lot of friends and brought me great satisfaction. It has also brought me employment. I worked as a stagehand part-time in college for the local union. When my father passed away before my final year of college, those stagehands, my friends, got me a full-time job so that I could finish my education. The people that I worked and went to school with in graduate school were the ones that got me my first tour on Beauty and the Beast. That led to me being hired on Jekyll and Hyde, which led to the next show, and the next, and the next, until I ended up where I am now, working for two amazing shows, Wicked and Phantom of the Opera. And don't forget, I also teach at the best performance art university in the entire world. It's my hope you'll follow this advice. Your experiences will be just as gratifying as mine have been. It's my hope that everyone you collaborate with will want to work with you again, that they will look forward to that experience, and given the opportunity, offer you your next job. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good morning. And good morning, class of 2019. That certainly has a nice ring to it. I'm chairman of the Board of Trustees, and I'm sitting back there, and the chancellor gets to be head of Hogwarts, and the governor gets to be a bearded white guy, wizard, and I'm wondering, who's left for me, and, it's only bad characters, and so I'm kind of worried about that. And I said, wait a minute, this is the School of the Arts. I can be anything I want to be. So in that vein, I, the immortal one, the ghost who walks, Ra, the Sun King, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, I welcome our guests, Mary Mitchell Campbell, and from the Board of Governors, Philip BYERS. Today we celebrate you, newly trained professional artists who will deeply impact the cultural landscape of our society. As trustees, we take our responsibility very seriously to ensure the school has the resources and support it needs to nurture your talent, hone your craft, and help you develop your unique voice. I will share with you that the school is in the quiet phase of our first capital campaign in 25 years. Our total goal will be announced in September. One important category of the campaign is student scholarship. And I will tell you now that we in the school have raised over $19.5 million towards that end. And more to come. It is our hope that your time here has not only prepared you for your careers, but will now enable you to enlighten your audience and reflect from the stage and screen the best and the worst of our global society. That you will provide moments of peace or rapt attention, moments of escape or those that demand presence. We will count on you to teach us to think differently, to listen when we should hear, and to see what we cannot. We are so proud of the work you have done here and cannot wait to see what you do next. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Wade Wilson, and I've had the great honor to serve UNCSA as the Faculty Council Chair for the past 2 years. I'd like to thank you, Chancellor Bierman, Vice Provost Karen Barras, Chairperson WOMBLE, Governor BYERS, all of the deans, and esteemed faculty. All of the parents, family, and friends here today as well. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this wonderful rite of passage with this incredible group of artists up here today. Graduates, you're all on the stage because you've successfully completed your training. You put in the time and you've given your blood, sweat, and likely some tears to your art form. You've developed the grit and earned the right to move out into the world as artist citizens. Congratulations, that's huge. You are now moments away from becoming part of a very unique family of highly trained UNCSA alums, also known as Fighting Pickles. Woo! Please look around the stage. These are the faces of the future of the arts and entertainment industry. You're all artists, which makes you a very unique and powerful group of people. Your faculty here stood by you, guiding you through years at this great institution, helping you develop your own personal artistic voice. We were all thrilled at the opportunity to teach and mentor each and every one of you through the rigorous process of training to become that next generation of artist citizens. As artists, you all have something profound and meaningful to offer to the world. As you move on to the next chapter of your lives, please take to heart that each generation has a chance to change the world. Seize your opportunity to use your art to shape a world that you want to live in and one that you want to pass on to the next generation. Keep in mind that humanity looks to the arts for comfort, for the light of guidance, and to lift its spirits. Each and every one of you on this stage are trained artists, and as such, you are that light. You have the potential to build the bridges for humanity to come together through thought-provoking art. A world-renowned cellist and humanitarian, Yo-Yo Ma, recently made this statement: "In culture, we build bridges, not walls." I'd like to share several words for you to ponder after today's celebration before I step down from here. In my experience, any measured success embodies some of the following. Just a few words to please think about. Perseverance, continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition, the action or condition, an instance of persevering steadfastness. Grit. Grit is defined as firmness of mind or spirit, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. Passion, intense driving or overmastering feeling or conviction. Gratitude, appreciative of benefits received. Thankfulness, very important. And with that, I'd like to just thank everyone and congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Is everyone still awake? I have to go to the bathroom yet? I do. Family and friends, we welcome you today to the 2019 commencement for the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. I am honored to be speaking on behalf of these graduating artists here today. I'd like to take a moment to thank our staff, whom have been integral in making our time at UNCSA comfortable, healthy, and nurtured. I'd like to thank our administration for doing all of their work in supporting our art through raising money for our institution, bringing incredible faculty and new peers to learn from, for believing in this program, and for providing a myriad of opportunities for improvement in our arts, on our campus, and within our communities. We, of course, have to reserve a moment to thank our incredible faculty. Without their abundance of knowledge, history, and value as humans, artists, and teachers, we would not be here today as strong professionals ready to enter our industries. As we are gathered today to celebrate our successes, I'd love to dedicate this moment to look back on what got us to them, our failures. Failure often goes as unmentioned as a prerequisite to any field of study, but particularly in the arts. When I think about failure, I look back on, personally, the most challenging piece I had to learn and execute at this institution. In the depths of my frustration with the process and myself, I approached a guest faculty in hopes of some simple feedback, and what he gave me were some words that I will never forget, and I'd love to share with you all now. He spoke of his opinion of learning in our Western society. As we tend to see growth being similar to building blocks, we look to goal after goal, block on top of block on top of block. We go to preschool, kindergarten, grammar school, high school, college, maybe get married, have kids, be successful in your career, hopefully retire and die of old age. Well, the more accurate way he instructed me to consider was thinking of growth like chemistry, that each day and each process is an experiment. Sometimes you play with this mixture, or sometimes that one. Today I'll add more gumption, tomorrow I'll take it away. Today I'll add more reservation, tomorrow I'll take it away. Today I'll add a smile, and tomorrow some tears, and the next day a balance between the two. Now, though he didn't literally mean going through life so ill-contrived, whatever the combination ended up being on whatever day, week, or period of time, the point was to play and allow the results to occur. That the solution wouldn't always come the first time around. That sometimes there'd be no reaction when you wanted one, and other times it would overflow. However, the hope was and constant why of going back to the lab, if you will, is that one day you'll find a perfect mixture. And that perfect mixture may fit one period of time and not another. It may fit for a while and then stop. But the point is to keep growing, trying, and blending, mixing, and seeing what you create that day. I believe in this time at UNCSA, we've all learned that you won't always put out a product that you're proud of. Be that in your art or in your presentation as a human, in your academic achievements or your ability to be a friend. But the point is that we keep trying, and in the process, keep failing and starting over to do it all again and again and again, with the goal of being a little bit better, a little bit kinder, a little bit smarter, bolder, and humbled by the process in the end. It is required of humanity to make mistakes in order to find the balance of what we want, who we are, and maybe go even as far as to find out what it all means for us. To rise, to forgive, and make a difference. Over the last 4 years, we all as students at this university have battled with our failures, often approaching them confrontationally. I believe that we've now come to understand that the only way we've achieved our successes, and today this degree, is by embracing our experienced failures. That we are not to define our art or ourselves by inadequacies, but by the willingness to improve and grow time and time again. I am grateful to stand before you all today to applaud the journeys thus far of these 246 students here today, and cheers to being ready to leave this place, go out, mix some concoctions, fail some more, and in the process make this school and ourselves proud to say we are pickles, we are artists, and we are human. Thank you.
Now, would all of the parents, family, friends, spouses, and significant others please stand? You have supported these graduates with your love and financial support. Graduates, this is your time to thank them. And now I would like for all of our faculty and staff to please stand. Graduates. UNCSA is incredibly fortunate to have a community of loyal benefactors, trustees, Giannini members, and tireless volunteers who contribute countless hours in ongoing financial support for the institution. I speak for everyone on this stage in expressing our sincere gratitude for all that these important supporters have selflessly give. Please join me in expressing our sincere thanks for their continued support of University of North Carolina School of the Arts. And finally, the citizens and the elected representatives of North Carolina have made a tremendous investment in your future. Approximately 60% of the cost of your education here was paid for by the taxpayers of this great and generous state. They deserve your profound gratitude, and I ask you to applaud them. The people of North Carolina. The Giannini Society Award is one of UNCSA's most prestigious honors, and it is given in recognition of remarkable service for the school. Named in honor of Vittorio Giannini, composer and first president of the School of the Arts, the Giannini Society is a group of dedicated supporters of the university who seek to further our mission of providing world-class arts education to talented, dedicated young artists. This award is given annually to members of the society who have distinguished themselves through outstanding service and support. This year's recipients are Anne and Steve Sessions. Anne and Steve were introduced to UNCSA through their love of dance and connections with the North Carolina Dance Theater. But their love for the school quickly broadened to include every discipline, and they have been advocates and supporters of the university for decades. They have been members of the Giannini Society for more than 20 years, and they have served on the Giannini Advisory Committee since 2006, including 3 years as co-chairs. Anne is a member of our Board of Visitors, serving as chair in 2017, and she is also a member of the Associates, a volunteer group dedicated to advancing UNCSA and the well-being of our students. Anne and Steve are also members of the Encore Circle and have hosted university events at their farm in Advance. Their farm, is it Advance or Advance? Thank you, sorry. Their farm has also served as a location for several student films. Anne and Steve are also active elsewhere in the community. Anne was on the North Carolina Dance Theater Board for 10 years and the Arts for Life Board for 15. Steve has served on the Cancer Services Board, the Clemens Community Foundation Board, and has been chair of the Clemens Rotary Club. They are college sweethearts who met at North Carolina State and have been married for 45 years, and they are proud parents and grandparents. We are deeply grateful for their service and are honored to have them as members of the UNCSA family. Today, we honor Ann and Steve with the 2019 Giannini Award for their extraordinary service to the institution. Please join me in congratulating the Sessions as they receive this well-deserved award. She's not usually on stage, but Mary Mitchell Campbell is one of the most acclaimed musical artists in New York theater. If you caught the Tony nominations on Tuesday, you probably noticed that The Prom received 7 Tony nominations, including Best Musical. If you read the playbill, you'll see that Mary Mitchell Campbell is the music supervisor for The Prom. In fact, she served as the music director for many Broadway shows that you'll find in your program. She's also performed in concert with Broadway stars, has worked with pop artists that are in your playlists, and has conducted symphony orchestras across the country. That's a pretty impressive career for someone who grew up in Wilson, North Carolina, a small town in the eastern part of the state. Like many of our students, Mary Mitchell has said that music, and the piano in particular, saved her life on a lot of levels. Music, she said, was her identity and her safe place to be when life was challenging, like at 14, when she and her family were left homeless by a house fire. So it's no surprise that music turned out to be her life's calling. She came to UNCSA by happenstance, attending the annual governor's school one summer, then at nearby Salem College. She met some friends who were attending UNCSA the next fall. She went over to campus, auditioned, was accepted, and enrolled in our high school. During her study in the School of Music, she points to a drama performance of Baby as a pivotal moment when she decided to forego classical piano to tell stories through music. Later, while getting her Bachelor of Music from Furman University in South Carolina, she founded a theater company to do just that, beginning a lifelong drive to combine her arts interests with her humanitarian interests. She made all the shows benefit a nonprofit in some manner. If you were in her show, you had to give something in return. Build a house for Habitat for Humanity, for example. Mary Mitchell didn't lose that philanthropic bent when she moved to New York City. Though struggling to survive early on, she got involved with Broadway Care's Equity Fight AIDS and began volunteering at their benefits. That was another pivotal moment. Through one of their events, she met legendary composer Cy Coleman, who she ended up working with and who ended up introducing to actor Paul Newman and novelist E.A. Hotchner. Newman and Hotchner co-founded the charity food company Newman's Own. At that point, Mary Mitchell began to help with Newman's projects, eventually running all the philanthropic projects for Newman's Own. Inspired by her work with Newman, she started her own nonprofit, Artists Striving to End Poverty. Artists, referred to as A-STEP. A-STEP connects performing and visual artists with youth from underserved communities in the United States and around the world to help them break the cycle of poverty. Soon, there came a time when she thought she might have to choose between her love for music and her love for giving back. Having come home from a retrospective 4 months volunteering in India, she interviewed for Tony Award-winning director John Doyle to music direct the revival of Company in 2006, for which she won a Drama Desk Award for orchestration, but was reticent to do it when he offered her the job. You see, she had just started A-STEP and felt she had to see it through. It was Doyle's response that she could do both that was another pivotal moment. Mary Mitchell has been doing her music and philanthropy ever since, regularly balancing any number of shows and benefit concerts. She continues to work with A-STEP and started Artist as Citizen conferences, focusing on ways young artists can empower individuals through the arts and strengthen their communities. At Juilliard, where she taught, expanding to UNCSA in 2018. She also returned to her alma mater a couple of years ago to work with the drama students prepping for company. Isn't that just unbelievable? I'm not done yet. How does she do it? She's an artist, and she is used to be, and she has what used to be called intestinal fortitude, which I much prefer to call grit. It is one of our core institutional values at UNCSA. We persist and persevere to achieve our long-term goals. That's how we define grit. It is with great admiration, respect, and delight that I welcome Mary Mitchell Campbell back home, this time as commencement speaker for our class of 2019. But before you hear from her, we have some official business to tend to, the awarding of her honorary doctorate. It is the custom of the university to confer honorary doctorates at each commencement ceremony. These honorary degrees are given by the institution as a means of recognizing outstanding contributions to the arts and to arts education. Our University Vice Provost and Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Karen Barris, will now read the resolution conferring the degree. Mary Mitchell, will you please step forward?
Whereas Mary Mitchell Campbell has proven herself an accomplished music director, as well as a recognized conductor, orchestrator, composer, and arranger, receiving her high school diploma in music from UNCSA. And whereas Ms. Campbell has served as the music director for many Broadway shows, including Mean Girls, The Prom, My Love Letter to Broadway with Kristen Chenoweth, Tuck Everlasting, Finding Neverland, Big Fish, The Addams Family, Company, and Sweeney Todd. And whereas Ms. Campbell won a Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Orchestrations for the 2006 revival of Company starring Raul Esparza, and was nominated for Outstanding Orchestrations for her work on the off-Broadway productions of Allegro and Hello Again. And whereas Ms. Campbell has a very active concert career and performs frequently with Kristen Chenoweth, Gavin Creel, Jonathan Groff, Laura Benanti, and Raul Esparza, and in her pop career has worked with Alicia Keys, Katy Perry, John Legend, Amy Grant, Kelly Clarkson, Stevie Wonder, James Taylor, Elvis Costello, and Josh Groban in concert. And whereas Ms. Campbell has conducted the Chicago Symphony, the Cincinnati Symphony, the Dallas Symphony, the Nashville Symphony, and many other orchestras around the United States. And whereas Ms. Campbell is the founder and co-executive director of A-STEP, Artists Striving to End Poverty, which recruits and trains high-level artists to work with kids in extreme situations, to teach them health, education, and life skills through the arts, and is a regular volunteer with A-STEP programs in the United States, Africa, and India. Be it resolved, we, the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, do hereby recognize the considerable accomplishments of Mary Mitchell Campbell and grant to her the degree of Honorary Doctor of Fine Arts. Now let's hear from Dr. Campbell.
Lord, that was exhausting. Okay, you guys are thorough, is what I can say. I have also alerted all of my family that they must now call me Dr. Campbell moving forward. I don't think that they're going to go along with it, but I'm gonna try. Distinguished faculty, alumni, staff, Board of Trustees, Chancellor Bierman, graduates, and your amazing families, I wanna say congratulations, class of 2019. One of the really fun parts of my job is that I get to be on auditions a lot, and I get to have UNCSA students come in, both current students and alumni. And usually when I see it on their resume, I feel the need to say to them, hey, I'm a pickle. And you're a pickle. And then everyone in the room sort of looks at me like, what's happening? And then I have to explain, and it gets very exciting. I had the amazing fortune of coming back to the campus recently after a long time away from the school. As they mentioned, my nonprofit A-Step, we started running at a conference in New York City that we called the Artist as Citizen, that was born out of the Juilliard School. And it was designed to bring together extremely talented artists who were interested in the intersection of art and social justice. So 2 years ago, my colleague Alejandro Rodriguez and I were invited to bring it to this campus, which was a huge, full circle moment for me, being from North Carolina. It was inspiring to meet students like Peyton Clifford, who attended both of our conferences here and came to the New York City conference, and to know that there are students, who are committed to making a difference in the world. We got to work with Lauren Eiley Spear, Aaron Ross, and Joe Rick through the Office of Student Engagement, and see how devoted they are to bringing diversity and new ideas to the student body. I was personally exhilarated to see faculty members like Krisha Marcano, Trish Casey, John Beck, and Brian Cole jump in and join our mission and teach with us. All of these experiences have given me such great confidence in the direction that this school is moving in, and a huge sense of pride to be a pickle. I grew up in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina, on a farm that had pigs, tobacco, and corn. I'm in the midst of that thorough bio. I'm surprised you didn't mention this, but I did win the 4-H County Fair Pig Showmanship Award. It's big stuff, you guys, big stuff. For Wilson County, that's pronounced Wilson with a T. There is no T. But coming to the school was probably the most terrifying thing that had happened to me at that time. I was not entirely sure if it was a good idea, but I knew that I could not stay where I was. And I knew I needed to find my people. And I needed to figure out who I was as an artist, and this school did that for me. And I think it did it for a lot of you as well. When I decided to move to New York City after college and pursue Broadway, there genuinely wasn't anyone in my life who thought that was a good idea. There were a few people who thought it was an okay idea, but the large majority of my friends and family thought it was a batshit crazy, terrible idea. Apologies to my grandmother for cursing. But many of my less polite friends actually looked at me and was like, why? Why would you do this? As if I was joining a cult and moving to a cave, which, looking back, I kind of was. But anyway, one of my favorite professors in school sat me down, and he was a father figure for me, and we were very close. And he knew that I didn't have any money, I didn't have any financial stability to fall back on, and no one was gonna really support me if it didn't go well. And he very simply and clearly said to me that he was really worried about me, and that I had a lot of amazing job opportunities in front of me, and it didn't make sense to chase a dream when the success rate is so low. And he said, I'll never forget, he said, I know you're really talented, but I have watched so many really talented people try to do this, and it always ends badly. I think you're gonna fail. And I think you will have passed up these other amazing opportunities, and you're gonna regret this, and I think you need to rethink your decision. Now, that was not inspiring for me in that moment, but there are moments in your life where you feel a great bit of clarity, and this was one of those moments where I felt enormous clarity. Call it God, call it your inner voice, whatever you want to call it. But I said to him, I know you care about me, and I know you're saying that out of love, and I believe you 100%. I think this is probably going to go really badly. But the thing that I realize in this moment is I am not scared to fail. I am scared to not try. So, to all of you people who have that crazy inner voice that tells you to do something completely insane, I say, Give that voice a chance, even if it's crazy, even if it's insane, sometimes because it's crazy and insane. Now, that does not mean that moving to New York was an easy thing. I had a very strict $40 a week grocery budget. That does not go far. Making hamburger helper without being able to afford hamburger is not a good concoction, and I do not recommend it. I'm also pretty sure that I failed about as equally as I succeeded in the early years, which is something I feel like people never tell you. They tell you they had some failures, they don't tell you how many. You get the before picture and the after picture, and they kind of skip the middle part. And it all just looks like it went so well. Like when you hear that bio, you're like, wow, that's an amazing career. And I'm like, that does not feel like that at all. That middle part kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Success is not a straight line, so just don't even think that it is. During one of those hard times, I was getting divorced. Divorce is very high on the things that suck. And I had a moment of clarity where God or my inner voice told me I should get out of the pajamas I'd been wearing for a week and go see what real problems looked like in the world. And so I booked this trip to India, and I went and volunteered in orphanages for 4 months. I will point out my grandmother was like, why? Why are you doing this? But I'm a very stubborn Southern girl, so I was determined. I fell in love with India. I fell in love with the kids I was working with. I somewhat irreverently introduced them to the musical Annie, because I was in an orphanage. And I taught them all It's a Hard Knock Life for Us, which we would sing and dance around the orphanage. But we would sing and dance while we were owning the challenges of what they were living in, and we would find the joy in the connection and imagine something better we could all work towards. They were sleeping 3 to a pillow on the ground. And I had 2 separate times when I sort of tried to present it as a celebration, and I announced that it was delousing day, and we were gonna pull the lice out of their hair, and it was gonna be really fun. I sort of got away with it. I gave them snacks. But we giggled and had pillow fights, and I introduced them to Wicked, which you'll appreciate, which turned out to be their favorite musical because they loved the story of an underdog that had been born into something they could not change. I also introduced them to the musical Chicago when I rewrote All That Jazz to All That Rice, because eating rice 3 meals a day is very monotonous. But I came back from that trip with 2 truths. The first one was I could not unlearn what I had learned. I now knew what that kind of poverty looked like up close, and there was no way to pretend that I didn't. And that was going to mean major changes for my life. Number 2 was that I did not need to feel guilty for what I have, but I did need to be conscious of what I waste. We spend a lot of time trying not to see those people because we feel terrible for them, and then we feel terrible for having so much more than them. And I find that guilt is not helpful in this context because then we're actively trying not to see suffering so that we don't have to feel guilty. I wanted to look that suffering in the face, and I wanted to sit with it and be able to figure out how to translate that into my life without wanting to run away. And that is what I came to. I do not need to feel guilty for having so much, but I need to be aware and not waste it, and I need to appreciate it. So after that trip, I decided to start A-STEP, which is the nonprofit that uses arts to empower children around the world. At the same time, as you heard, I got an offer to do this revival of Company with Stephen Sondheim, which was like a really big job offer for me at the time. And I was very interested, but I had just promised to fight really hard for this group of children that I had been working with, and I did not feel like I could let them down. So when I met with the director and he offered me the job, I said, I don't think I can do it because I just started this organization and I feel like I have to be true to that. And he said something that changed my life. He said, I don't understand, why can't you do both? He's British. And it had never occurred to me that that was even an option, which makes me think, how many times are we waiting for people to give us permission to live our lives? That was a moment when he gave me permission to live my life. Note to self, don't put yourself in a box. Enough people are gonna do it for you. Being an artist is not easy. Those of us that try to create know that very, very well. But I believe you can't be a great artist until you have something to say. And you can't have something to say until you know better who you are. And figuring out who you are is a lifelong endeavor. But I learned so much more about myself by getting out of my comfort zone and going out into the world and volunteering and traveling. You come face to face with who you are in those moments. Sometimes the realities are a little bit disappointing. Some of my great ideas about myself turned out to be really untrue. But in other cases, I found out that I was more competent in areas than I realized. But either way, I am a seeker of truth, and what I found was the truth of who I am and not the illusion that I wanted to believe. So as I speak to you in the spring of 2019, I ask this: please make art. We are living in incredibly crazy times. No matter where you fall into your opinions about the state of the world, this is the time to make amazing art. We need brilliant artists to step it up and lead the way. Now is not the time to be silent. When situations like what happened at UNC Charlotte happen, it is our job, I think, to make great art. As Leonard Bernstein said, this will be our greatest response to violence, to make music more intensely, more beautifully, more devotedly than ever before. If there is one thing that I want to tell you for today, if there is one piece of wisdom that I wish I could have told myself when I was sitting in your shoes, there is no holy grail. There is no person, no relationship, no job, no award, no compliment, no outfit, no haircut, no body type, no material possession, and no amount of money that is going to make you happy forever. So stop looking outside yourself for it, because it does not exist. And start fully living the life that you're in. Set goals, dream big, make improvements on yourself, but don't look to those things to solve your life, because they can't. Work hard, be kind, show up. That's a big one, show up. Love yourself and what makes you different, and amazing things can happen for you. Bravo on this huge achievement. Serious congratulations to all of you, and please get out there and make the world a better place for all of us.
Thank you, Mary Mitchell. Chancellor Bierman, at this time, we would like to present to you the candidates for graduation and to confer their certificates and degrees. All candidates for graduation, please stand. Chancellor Bierman, these candidates have completed all requirements of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts for receiving the appropriate professional artist certificate, Master of Music degree, Master of Fine Arts degree, Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, or Bachelor of Music degree, and they have been approved for graduation by the administration and faculty of the school.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the University of North Carolina and by the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and with the faculty concurring, chill, 1 second. I confer upon you the appropriate certificate or degree with all rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Graduates, please be seated. Well, the moment is finally here. The moment you've been waiting for. To help, I've asked our mascot, Pickle, to bring the diplomas out onto the stage. Wait! Stop the music! Where's the Pickle? He told me he'd be here to present the diplomas. Has anyone seen the Pickle? Oh, Pickle. Let's get on with this. The Master of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the candidates from the School of Design and Production. Joining me on stage is the Dean of Design and Production, Michael Kelly. Graduates, please come forward.
Jonathan Amaro Ramos. Emily Nicole Brink. Andrew Keenan Burchett. Taylor Morgan Pusillo Dankovich. Matthew Scott Dempsey. Monica Gupta. Alexandra A. Hooper. Allison E. Kochanek.
Okay.
John Llewellyn Seidensticker.
The Master of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the candidates from the School of Design and Filmmaking. Joining me on stage is the Dean of Filmmaking, Susan Ruskin. Graduates. Graduates, please come forward.
Keslin Shida Naomi Blasengel. Timothy Luke Carlos. Jen Xiao Chen. Michael Eric Culbertson. Rachel Leanne Holsholt. Marissa Diane Johnson. Alexander Linus Jones. Lauren Marsh McGee. Daniel Lee Mercer. Benjamin Matthew Miles. Pritam Nayak. James Cornelius Russell. Neil Sofer. Garrett Yates Spake. William McNeil Totten. Alexander Chadwick Umfleet. Matthew Graham Vermillier. Winji Wang. Jed D. Watson. Natasha Ryan Zitten.
The Professional Artist Certificate will now be awarded to the candidates from the School of Music. The Dean of Music, Brian Cole, will join me on stage. Graduates, please come forward.
Matthew David Bacon. Jordan Carol Burton. Nicole Song N. Fu. Amanda Lee Goodwin. Morgan Brianne Leatherwood. Juyun Lee. Meishan Lin. Wei Lin. Eliza Rose Manzik. Andrew Ross Renee. Luis Sanz Gonzalez. David Ulrich Bernard Schmitz.
The Master of Music?
We're done.
The Bachelor of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the graduates of the School of Dance. Joining me on stage is the Dean of Dance, Susan Jaffe. Graduates from the School of Dance, please come forward.
Rebecca Morgan Elstock. Gabriela Maria Amy Moreno. Mariah Ann Anton. Amelia Claire Atterbury. Sofia Farina Costa Gonzalez Baeta. Alexandra Barry. Sophia Elizabeth Bonacorso. Juliana Christina. Levance Edmund Pouillet. Emma Elizabeth Cumston. Alyssa Lee Eister. John Hendren Gardner. Jacqueline Louise Hodek. Lily Morgan Huntley. Blythe Janae Coaster. Anna Elizabeth Martz. Molly Catherine McGlinnan. Katie Corinne Parks. Dylan Mackenzie Parton. Emmanuel Jakir Patterson. Abigail Lee Quarles. Emily Janaea Sanchez. Tara Lynn Shiphoff. Spencer Ryan Stradling. GREER Elaine Hutchison.
The Bachelor of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the graduates of the School of Design and Production. The Dean of Design and Production, Michael Kelly, is joining us on stage. That's mine. Graduates from the School of Design and Production, please come forward.
Carly Danielle Anders. Jonathan Bela Bach. Abby Elise Barneycastle. Aaron Gabriel Bobeck. Kai R. Cavender. Sarah Rose Kaminsky. Maria Alejandra Cortez. Monica Marie Cruson. Wesley Bianca Denton. Dominic Liam McKenna DeSalvio. Lauren Elizabeth Dunlop. Natalie Siobhan Eit. Zachary Greer Emerson. Justin Bjorn Fenneman. John Rollins Ferry. Hannah Palmer Fuquay. Silvana Marie Gibson. Sarah Isabella Giordano. Ashley Nicole Heller. Colby Kennedy Hodge. Charles Robert Hoff. Jada Leonora Hutchinson. Simone Nashe Jacobs. Ryan Foster Jenny. David Andrew Lynette. Stephanie Marie Malaspina. Melissa Lauren Marlowe. Jason David McGuire. Madison Hall McLean. Kristen Marie Mendez. Rachel Lynn Miller. Jacob Robert Ostick. Alexander Leonid Register. Dalton Tabor Lombardi Schiller. Taja Renee Cephas. Kimberly Janal Smith. Alexis Paige Sneed. Emile Kylin Soare. Alana Lee Spock. Catherine Ruth Swanson. Casey Dalton Taylor. Saganisha Valo Picarello. Brendan Patrick Warner. Rachel Elizabeth Wilson. Keon M. Woods. Luke Henderson Woods. Sydney Maisel Yeoman.
The Bachelor of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the graduates of the School of Drama. Joining us on stage is the Dean of Drama, Scott Ziegler. Graduates from the School of Drama, please come forward.
John Brannon Alcott. Nikayla Michelle Boxley. Cricket Brown. Malik Eso Childs. Noah Sherman Crandell. Sydney Ann Endicott. Hannah Grace Falk. Christopher Bernardus Holtkamp. David Glynn Lawrence. Bailey Louise Lee. Corina Joy Lurie. Madeline Marie Milligan. Aheneman Nome Sidon Okoje. Claire Holiday Pruitt. Dyer Walton Harrison Rhodes. Julia DeGuire Sismore. Nadezhda Amelia Thomas Komisarov. Christian Thomason. Caitlin L. Weinstein. Benjamin Cole Weinswig. Sienna Caitlin Werber. Audrey Zane.
The Bachelor of Fine Arts degree will now be awarded to the graduates of the School of Filmmaking. The Dean of Filmmaking, Susan Ruskin, is with us on stage. Graduates from the School of Filmmaking, please stand.
Kendra Archer. Logan Amanda Barrick. Tristan Thomas Blair. Stacia Bryn Bonert. Sean Michael Breitkreutz. Warren Trace Collins. Caitlin Marie Cook. Sierra Stewart Cook. Nicholas Elliott Dardis. Mateo Christian Davis. Michelle DeGrace. Juan Malik Dowdy. Charles Jeffrey Duncan. William Evan Finch. Benjamin Richard Fisk. Riley Mackenzie Fitzpatrick. Christian Daniel Flowers. Reagan Joelle Frazier. Jared Freeman. Emma Brooke Friedman. Grant Parker Godby. Scott Matthew Goldstein. Hosanna May Gourley. Christopher McCarl Griggs. Nicholas Jacob Guy. Madison Schuyler Hall. MacArthur Jameson Haviland. Terrence William Hines. John Lucas Hurley. Cynthia Brooke Highland. Jonathan Richard Jenkins. Gabrielle Nicolette Johnson Crawford. Adam Jumba. Anna Michelle Kamaroff. Edward George Cloyders. Alyssa Marie Nattel. Tingja Kao. Anthony Luke Lauder. Ibrahim Anthony Luckett. Artyom Nelson Maluszewski. Jordan Scott McLaughlin. Navar Anthony Magali. Andrew Mirmanesh. Jacqueline Elizabeth Olivo. Mallory Madison Pacheco. Roxana Lynn Picamian. Andrea Jane Ralph. John Wesley Reardon. John Luke Rissy. Michael Joseph Rodway. Isabel Kiana Rolls. Susan Milena Saban. Catherine Sanderson. John Santos Masado. Keaton Riley Sapp. Ruby Louise Scharf. Charlie Sharza. Brian Thomas Sheehan. Autumn Lindsay Shields. Eliza Grace Smith. William Christopher Stevens. Lucas Severino Swift. Donovan Xavier Taylor. Haley Denise Vinson. Gabrielle Elizabeth Walden. Daniel Lee Waters. Aiden Weaver. James Robertson Wiley. Madison Caroline Williams. Jeffrey Austin Yabro.
The Bachelor of Music degree will now be awarded to graduates from the School of Music. Joining us on stage is Brian Cole, the Dean of the School of Music. Graduates from the School of Music, please come forward.
Gustavo Antonio Comey. Christian Michael Burleson. Regina Amalinda Christie. Peyton Presley Clifford. Omarius Rashad Cradle. John Forrest Dunn. John Lucas Gerby. Raymond Chad Hawkins. Ethan Smith Huberman. Donovan J. Laughlin. Thomas David Little. Alexander Jean Robert Nelson. Savannah Rose Ridley. Algernon Nigel Devon Robinson, Jr. Scott Brandon Shea. Robert Ogilvie Thomas. Logan Asbury Trotter. Olivia Grace Van Branken. Madeline Ward. Claire Kyungmin Yu.
Congratulations, class of 2019! Okay. Over the next hour, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. So, we welcomed you fresh out of high school with great expectations. Your talent got you in. Your grit got you through. Your ability to perform under any kind of pressure will serve you wherever you go from here. Our deans, faculty, administrators, staff, and supporters couldn't be prouder of your transformation as artists, and as citizens, we will be watching you. I am sure most of you recall the moment, perhaps years before you got here, when you came out to your family as an artist. Where'd you think I was going with that? Parents, let's be honest. Some of you took the news really hard at first. You might have hoped for finance or law or engineering, something practical. But you knew in your heart that your child has a rare gift and a passion that must be valued and nurtured. That success is defined by doing what you love and loving what you do, by having an impact. That your child's unique voice, discipline, and passion would be more fully developed and appreciated in a collegial community of artists like you and CSA. That being true to oneself and listening to one's inner voice can lead to the richest and most rewarding life of all. I'd like to leave you all with one of my favorite passages from a book by Frederick Buechner, the Presbyterian minister and author of more than 30 works of fiction and nonfiction, where he describes success better than I ever could as finding and answering your calling. And I quote, "The voice we should listen to most as we choose a vocation is the voice that we might think we should listen to least. And that is the voice of our own gladness. What can we do that makes us gladdest? What can we do that leaves us with the strongest sense of sailing true north and of peace, which is much of what gladness is? Is it making things with our hands out of wood or stone or paint on canvas? Or is it making something we hope like truth out of words? Or is it making people laugh or weep in a way that cleanses their spirit? I believe that if it is a thing that makes us truly glad, then it is our thing. It is the calling voice that we were made to answer with our lives. In a world where there is so much drudgery, so much grief, so much emptiness and fear and pain, our gladness in our work is as much needed as we ourselves need to be glad. If we keep our eyes and ears open, our hearts open, we will find the place surely." End quote. I honor all of the exceptional, aspiring, and emerging artists on this stage and across our campus who answered a calling to dance, play an instrument, act, direct, write, edit, make costumes, build sets, or follow all kinds of creative pursuits, and passions. It pains me greatly to hear these concentrations described or even dismissed as soft subjects by so many of today's education policymakers. Maybe they really are soft subjects because I've seen our students soften up even the hardest of hearts. The talent it takes to make people laugh or weep or wonder, or to bring fleeting moments of joy into a world seemingly fixated on violence and vanity, that talent is a gift and a vocation we should hold dear and sacred. That talent, your talent, can be channeled into a meaningful and impactful life's work that changes and inspires the world. It can transform a thrilling and thriving global arts and entertainment industry. It's the reason I stand on this stage today to fight for all of you and for all artists to assume your rightful place in our culture and society. And today, you are finally equipped with the education and the experience to do so. Congratulations to all of you. Lastly, I want to thank the parents and loved ones for sharing these extraordinary young people with us at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. Thank you, graduates, for letting us be a part of your lives during these formative years and for giving us such joy day after day and for enriching our lives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, audience members, please remain in your seats and allow the platform party, graduates, and faculty to recess out of the theater. Graduates, please recess to the street in front of the Stevens Center. And again, congratulations to all of you.